Welcome everybody to the FOMO Factory, the new channel name where we create FOMO for the highest crypto quality projects. Today I'm going to show you my bear market strategy because I made a lot of videos on how to survive a bear market and I hope you stick with it. You don't have to follow it as advice, but make it a part of your research, of course. But today I'm going to show you something that I'm mainly focusing on, and I think this is a great strategy. So you can do your own research on it, but what I'm basically going to do is we're going to talk about how to actually make money with cryptocurrency that doesn't exist. And that's the best way, in my opinion, to do it, because there are now a lot of coins out there that if they survive the bear market, and that's always a big if, they perform pretty well probably. But new projects in the bull market always do great, right? If you are right on time and a new project in the bull market, then you do amazing, right? So what if you can already invest in such a project before the project is there? So today we're going to talk about startups, and I'm going to show you how you can do your own research to check out and how to find that kind of stuff. So if you think that's interesting, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Channel is just new. We got 608 subscribers right now. Let's get this to 1,000, man. This is the quality stuff. This is where you want to be every single day. This is where I'm trying to be every single day for you guys. So let's get right to it. Now, first of all, I just found this and I just want to show you this. You do not want to be like this, right? Aping into coins and then be like, what? Getting wrecked. And no, you don't want that. All right. So it's just very funny, but this reflects new crypto investors. Just watch it a couple of times. This is you in the bear market. All right. This is me in the bear market when I wasn't experienced enough. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to show you about that. So let's talk about Launchpads. Launchpads are my golden ticket to the financial freedom. And it sounds too good to be true. It's really not, because if you are persistent in a bear market and you have a plan and you stick to it and you don't give up and you don't panic sell and you don't FOMO in, these are the people that win, right? There are a lot of winners in crypto, but the losers are the ones that don't believe it. So I try to, show you in this video why I believe in this so much, and I hope you can believe something like this as well to make it up for yourself and to make the best out of it. So Launchpads are, you know what a Launchpad is probably, right? It's a crypto project where you can invest so that you have allocations to invest in new upcoming crypto projects, and the returns of these crypto projects are insane in a bull market, right? In a bear market, not so. I mean, I invest a lot in Seedify, and I participated in a project lately that did a 13x, for example. Well, doing a 13x in a bear market is very, very, very nice. But in a bull market, if you just make a 13x, then it's not good, because usually 50x's or more are actually common, right? Now, there are a lot of Launchpads. I talked about Seedify a lot, but Seedify is, of course, not the only project that does that. And what I'm doing is now I am checking, like, okay, which Launchpads are there and how should I divide that? How can I put my eggs in multiple baskets right here? And there is a great website to check that out, and that's cryptorank.io. Cryptorank.io is a website with a lot of statistics about cryptocurrency. They got a lot of interesting tools and a lot of cool stuff. But one of these things, if you go to IDO/IEO and you go to Launchpads, here you can see crypto Launchpads. You can see the different Launchpads, which blockchains they release their projects on, what the current average ROI, so return of investment, is. And you'll notice that now it's not so high. With Downmaker, on average you make a 1.8x. Enjinstarter, you even lose money, right? With BECPad as well. But that's just a bear market. So that's not really the interesting point right now, because last bull run, I was looking, for example, at Seedify, and I felt like, because I saw really 20, 40, 50, 100 X's flying through my ears all the time. And I was like, whoa, shit, I'm missing out on a lot of good stuff, because in a bull market, people have enough money to invest, right? And they want to give it a shot. And a lot of VCs, a lot of big venture capitals, they all venture capitals, a lot of and whatever, they all want to invest in new projects. And a project with a $20 million market cap is like, you know, there were random meme coins with a $20 million market cap, and that was considered low, right? Now these Launchpad or these projects that release here, they release with a $200, $300, $400, $500,000 initial market cap, right? So if that happens in the bull run, then it's easily to say that a 50x is actually common. So what now my game plan is now invest in these Launchpads, and when the bull run comes, actually participate in these lunches. Because the problem was, for example, with Seedify, I talked about Seedify a couple of times, and it's just because they have the best ROI in crypto gaming. And I really love it, man. This is the most professional platform ever. But I was introduced to it around here, and I rode the wave. But I rode the wave down as well, and didn't had that much money in it back then. But the problem is that you need a certain amount of coins of these Launchpads to get a good tier, to get a good allocation, right? If you just have a small bag of coins, you can maybe only invest like $50 in a new launch instead of 500. If it does 100x with just $50, you know, it's nice, it's free money, but you could have made a lot more out of it. So now it's interesting for me because now the prices are super low. And it's not at its lowest point right now, but I'm also not saying you should go all in right now on Launchpads. I mean, I personally think we had the bottom by now, but, you know, you should always consider the fact that you're wrong. So I'm having cash on the sideline as well because I have an opinion based on a lot of stuff, but I can be wrong, right? And I don't want to get wrecked if I'm wrong, right? So don't go all in just because you now feel like it is so low. But it's definitely, for me, a good time to now dollar cost a little bit into these Launchpads, right? So, for example, Seedify was $16, right? And you need, let's say, 1,000 Seedify tokens to get a decent allocation. Not even a good allocation, but just a decent allocation. But that would have cost you more than $16,000 back then, right? If you bought it at, for example, it was 90 cents. CoinGecko didn't track it perfectly, but it was 90 cents. Right? So not even $1. So it means that if you want to have 1,000 tokens right now, you just have to pay $900. Okay, so then it's definitely worth it. Because one, you build up enough tokens to get a good allocation. And two, well, the price goes up as well, right? I mean, if you bought the dip, you already did a 3x on the token itself as well. So there are basically two ways to make money with it. So if you follow this channel, if you follow the Fomotion channel, you already know about Seedify. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but I'm going to just check out for myself some Launchpads. And I want to show you a couple of things on how you can do your research on it. So first, if you go to CoinMarketCap, you have categories, right? And here, let me just Control F and search for it. So here you have Launchpads, all right? Let me go Launchpads. So here we have Launchpads, and here you'll see all the Launchpads. Now, what you can do is, you know, DAOmaker, for example, is the highest market cap Launchpad right now. And that also means that, you know, maybe it's not like the best time to invest in DAOmaker right now because a lot of good projects are down. Let's take advantage of that and not necessarily invest in the highest, you know, projects that there are right now. So what I'm basically doing is I'm scrolling a little bit down and just looking like, okay, what Launchpads right here don't I know or don't I own or whatever, and might be interesting because if we look at the really low cap Launchpads, there are a lot of them. For example, CardStarter. I knew about CardStarter. I forgot about it. Now I see it and I felt like, okay, cool. CardStarter is a Launchpad on the Cardano chain, right? So that's something we need, I guess, because Cardano will release projects as well, and we need a Launchpad there as well. So, you know, let's take a look at CardStarter. First thing I do is just look at the price. I mean, the price, it was around fucking $80, maybe even higher, and it's now sitting at 22 cents. That's quite big of a drop if you ask me. So let's take a look at their Twitter. Okay, so this is the first thing you want to do basically. Just look at their socials, because you don't want to look at this, feel like, oh, it came down a lot, I can now have a big ass allocation and buy it, and then find out that the project is completely dead because they haven't tweeted since March and it's now August, right? So if a project isn't active on social media for more than half a year, then you can pretty much assume that the project is dead. Now you always want to double check that, of course, because maybe they got a new Twitter and it's not updated here, so you want to go to the chat, for example, on Telegram or Discord or something like that. But yeah, if we take a look right here, I don't have to scroll a lot to find out that the project is not that active anymore. A couple of scrolls and I'm already more than half a week back. So yeah, no, it doesn't look like Starter is that great. Now you should not only do your research this way, you should also actually read some stuff. But at the first sight, I feel like, nah, this isn't it for me. It's not like it should be out there, right? It should be really out there. This isn't out there. This is nothing basically. So we want to look for something else. So then you just, this way you just scroll down the list. You look at the market cap. You look like, okay, let's start here, by the way, because this is most accurate. Yellow Road. Never heard of it, but Yellow Road might be a good opportunity. $20 now sitting at 1 cent. Also big drop. So let's... No, this Dutch for this account doesn't exist. So also project that. So Yellow Road doesn't exist. That's the way you want to do it. It's, you have to take your time this way. But this is the way you can do it, right? Because here you find the really low cap Launchpads. And that's a good way to, if you feel like, oh, this project is actually good and the team is great and it's transparent, it's innovative, the allocations are great, they release good projects actually, right? It's just undervalued because of lack of a marketing in combination with the bear market and all that. This is the way you find them, because Launchpads can actually really blow up. For example, KCC pad, I heard about it, but this is a Launchpad on the KCC chain, the KuCoin community. Yeah, KCC KuCoin community chain. So that's a KuCoin chain. That chain, nobody ever hears something about it or whatever. But if it gets big, maybe you want to have a allocation in the Launchpad as well. So let's take a look at the price chart. The price was sitting at, give or take, 40 cents. Now sitting at, less than a cent. Market cap and the fully diluted market cap still have a big difference though. So if you invest in this, I should be really carefully DCAing. But if we look at the volume though, $9, what the fuck is that, right? So let's take a look at the community Twitter. Account suspended. Okay, this is actually going great. So kccpad.io, let's take a look at the website, because what the fuck, right? I mean, that's not what you want to see. Website not even really loading. Oh, this is really bad. Okay. It works at least. So let's take a look at, like, do they have a Telegram or something like that? Because they don't even have a Telegram or something like that. It's Twitter, but that account is suspended, so it doesn't exist anymore. It's not adjusted on the website as well. So in that case, project completely dead. You don't want that, all right? So that's how you look for the low cap Launchpads, all right? But then, let me show you this, because maybe I haven't convinced you really about why you want to participate in Launchpads. Okay, so let's go back to CryptoRank. Here, you can see the all-time high ROI. So from the moment they released it, so the pre-sale price up till the highest price, how many X's it did on average, right? So if you look at DAOmaker, on average, it does a 41x. Okay, Polkstarter, on average, it does a 35x. Absolutely crazy. BSC pad, 37x. That's insane. That's really insane. This is also, on average, right? So this also calculates the projects that are released in the bear market. Okay? So in the bull market, this is way higher. Cool. I like this. Right? So this way you can look a little bit like, okay. What has decent returns, right? But these are all great, you'll see in this list. Then you can also see the market cap of that specific Launchpad. It's very different from what it said on CoinMarketCap. So you always have to fact check what the you know, right answer. But in this case, it says that Downmaker has $500 million market cap. Yeah, you know, then one, you don't make a lot of money with the token itself, because the chance that a $100 million market cap does a 10x is way higher than that a $500 million market cap does a 10x, right? And two, it means that the token is expensive, so it's still hard to get in. And it's a bear market right now, right? It should be hard to get in when we're in a bull market. All right, so that's what we do not want. So, for example, Bull Perks. It has a not even a $95 million market cap. Cool. Entry is also important because the minimum amount to participate. Okay. That's interesting because, for example, I know with Seedify, you have to have at least 250 Seedify tokens. So let's just refresh this real quick. 250 Seedify tokens, that's around $722, okay? Here with Seedify, well, $2 difference, slightly lag, but you know, pretty accurate. So that's correct what it says right here. So, so for example, with Seedify, you have to invest at least $722 to be able to participate in launches, right? You know, with Downmaker, for example, it is $4,000. Is it $4,000 or is it $3.85? No, it's really $4,000. You know, you don't want that. You don't want that. You can sort by this, by the way. Yeah, here. It's, you know, the average, at least the, you know, I think that people that watch this channel are not millionaires. And I don't know why you should want to invest 4K into a project. Like, this is run by the people that were on time, but this is not for people that want to entry right now, right? So you want to look for something else than that. So let's go do that again. Now, for example, Polkstarter. You have to have $158 to be able to participate. That's a lot better, right? That's a lot better. Because if we take a look at Polkstarter, $158 is now what you have to invest. But if you look at what the all-time high for Polkstarter was, it's now sitting at 65 cents. The all-time high was 10 times as high. So you probably needed to have not $150, but $1,500. That's what I mean, right? Now, the Launchpads are great to accumulate the tokens, step up your tier, right? Be able to participate in the launches. And you can already participate because a lot of projects like Enjinstarter, Seedify, all that kind of stuff, they have some kind of a protected launch, right? That if the launch doesn't really succeed, you just get a refund. But I don't think that all these Launchpads have that. So if you want to be careful, now just accumulate the tokens of these Launchpads. And then when the bull market continues, you can actually participate in that. Because I can show you, and I showed you in another video as well, just specifically for Seedify. But here, these are the newer projects, right? The newer projects, so they don't really perform that high. Like I said, Amazy did a 17x, Menzi did a 6x, okay? Outer Ring did a 22x. So these are good returns for a bear market, right? But this is what it does in the bull market, okay? 40x, 17x, 20x, 700x, 169x, 50x, 50x, 15x, 100x. Like, these are the numbers you are going to experience in the bull run, right? So therefore, you do not want to FOMO into, like, for example, Seedify when it's a bull run, because then the price of Seedify will be a lot higher, of course, because people know that these are the returns that are going to be made. Therefore, the bear market is a great opportunity. So I'm really building a Launchpad portfolio right now. So I have my low risk portfolio, I have a medium risk portfolio, I have a high risk portfolio, I have a gaming portfolio, but now also I'm going to add a Launchpad portfolio. So I am, you know, not putting a lot of coins in every portfolio, but I want to have multiple categories. And I think that the Launchpad is the one that is going to make me most money. You know, the medium and high risk, yeah, that's a good portfolio and it could 10x. But you should understand that, you know, if you buy one of these great Launchpads right here, these Launchpads will probably also 10x themselves. But on top of that, you also make the money that I just showed you by participating in new launches, right? So the thing is that for now, I am only invested in Seedify, in Enjinstarter, in SpinTop, and a little bit in Paragen. And these are all gamified, right? But I don't only want to invest in new games. I also want to invest in DeFi or something, for example. So, you know, I want something else as well. So, for example, when I look at BSC-Pad, here you can also see what the categories are. So, for 18%, they release gamified projects, but for 36%, they release DeFi projects as well. Right, so that's pretty cool. Here are the projects that they released. Okay, so for example, if you invested in this project, the all-time high ROI is 333x. It's crazy. If you invested $1,000 back then, you would have made 300,000 if you know exactly sold that top. And it depends on investings and all, but then you made so much money by just participating in this launch. All right, and then there's this one, and then there's this one, and then there's this one. You know, Binance BSC-Pad has really good releases from what I see. All right, so this is something I'm definitely interested in to check out. Now, what you then do is just go to the website. It says web right here, Twitter, Telegram. You want to check it all out. You want to do good research. Don't just buy it based on that, because you want to know, how much tokens do I need, right, to participate in these launches? Is it worth it in the first place? So if you, in this case, it's always somewhere on the website, white paper, maybe in the Telegram, but in this case, you'll see what the allocations are, right? So what I don't like about this is that you, for example, have to get whitelisted by liking, commenting, retweeting, all that kind of stuff. But if you get a slightly higher tier, you don't need to do that. So I, for example, want to have at least 10,000 tokens, right? Because then you have a guaranteed allocation. You don't have to do anything else, right? Then you just get your allocation. You can just invest, but you at least need 10,000 tokens. So okay, cool. What's 10,000 tokens? How much money is that? Let's take a look right here. 10,000 tokens. Okay, 10k, 10, 1, 2, 3. It's always fucked up. 10,000. Let's do that again. So that's $1,800 that I would like to invest in this project, right? Because yes, you can do it with 1,000, and that's indeed 180. But then you have, you know, it's not guaranteed. You really have to do something for it. So that's the way, you know, maybe you don't mind. I do. But that's the way you can check that out. So that's the way to pretty much search for these kind of things. And also Polkastarter, really good launchpad, by the way. I don't really like the fact that you have to get whitelisted, so you have to answer all kind of questions about the project before you can buy into the project. And I feel like, nah, I have my Polkastarter tokens. I should be able to already buy them. So every launchpad is different when it comes to that. SpinTop, for example, has no tiers. You can just allocate some money right there. Doesn't really matter how much. You have to at least have 1,000 SpinTop tokens, which is now $25, something like that. And every dollar or cent you invest more than that, that just raises your allocation. It's not in these steps, right? So that's really nice. But that way, it's a little different with every launchpad. So you can also search for market cap right here, and then you can look like, okay, what is a pretty much, you know, low market cap that has potential, right? For example, SoulRaiser is on Solana. They release half GameFi, 12.5%. They do social projects. They do a little DeFi. So they do all kind of stuff. So that's what I like. The all-time high average ROI is 5x. It's not high. It's not high. It's not a great return. But then again, no, it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, if you look at these projects right here, they all made profits, right? So that's a good thing. The ROI up till now is all down, but don't let that scare you off. Except this one. But don't let that scare you off, because that's what a bear market does. These tokens have to get vested. It takes a while. You know, just sell that shit before you before it dumps on you, right? So that way you can search for it. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just gonna mess around with this a little bit. I mean, I think I'm gonna just select by market cap and go down a little bit, and I want to low Launchpads. So for example, Kickpad. I have no idea. They do a lot of DeFi. Okay, cool. Wait, let me go back again. You know, they have a great all-time high ROI. How come, by the way? Well, they had one project with a great return. They had another project with a great return. So they do have some good projects. So I don't know about this one. Look, and this thing, it says like, this connection is not safe. And I'm not gonna fuck around with that. I'm in crypto. I don't do anything stupid. I don't open links, suspicious shit like that. So sorry, Kickpad, but I'm gonna kick you out. So Launch Zone, for example, let's take a look at Launch Zone. Pretty much game fight. I don't need that. I have enough games, like I said. So also, what's another high ROI? Card starter, but that was Cardano. That was the wrong one. So no, I'm not gonna do that. So let's take a look. Chain Boost 20 million. Okay, they do have some NFTs and some DeFi. Okay, that's not that bad. So let's take a look at Chain Boost. So how does it work? A play to participate NFT and DeFi protocol connecting promising projects with proven supporters. All right. But it's mostly games as well, this one. So I don't think I'm gonna need that. And here as well, you want to know like what are the tiers, what how does it work, how it works. Okay, cool. Well, take some time, but that's basically how you do that. So like I said, I'm building my Launchpad watch list, and the ones that I have currently my eyes on, I can show you. These one are old. Seedify, Spin Top, Enjinstarter, Paragen. Don't mind the P&L. I bought in the bull run. That's why I'm making this video right now, because I think it's a good idea to buy it right now instead of the bull run. But you know, we'll be okay. But I'm also looking at BSC Pad, Impossible Finance Launchpad, Pools, Infinity Pad, and Bull Perks. So that's what I'm currently looking at, but I can't buy them all right now. But I'm keeping my eyes on it, doing some more research, and then maybe step into something like that. So that's it for now, guys. I really hope you liked the video. It was informational for you. If you haven't, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get this to 1,000 subscribers. This is where the quality content comes from. Let's make it all together in this bear market to really just sit back and, you know, enjoy and relax and take our profits in the next bull market, because it will come. It's a matter of time, but we must not give up now. That's basically the most important thing. Trade safe, be safe, see you soon, bye.